How's it going? Thralls Metal here again with another album review. I'm Necrotic Nick,
Shredlord here.
and we are going to review the latest release from Death Angel, Humanicide. This came out May 31st on Nuclear Blast Records, and this is their 9th studio album. A nice long career from these guys. They originally formed in 1982, broke up in 91, and then reformed in 2001 and just been on a tear ever since. It's one of my favorite Bay Area bands. And, well, let's get in and see if they continue on this nice streak.
The first thing that I noticed with this album right away is the production sounded very similar, and so to other albums I had heard in the past, and so I immediately went to Wikipedia and found that Jason Sekoff had produced this album, which is awesome because he's produced everyone under the sun, it feels like, and he's a badass guitar player and a great producer, man. He's got that whole metal production thing on lockdown.
It's nice, it sounds polished but still gritty, and every instrument is audible in the mix. Like, I was kind of thrown back that I could hear the bass very clearly in this mix, and solid bass lines that are carrying all these songs very well. It's like, wow, this is... Unfortunately, it's kind of a thing where bass gets mixed out, but wow, he really brought it out.
Yeah.
And everything on this album sounded just spot on.
Production-wise, it kind of reminded me of Sun Eater.
Yeah.
By Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah, very
as far
strong.
as how that bass stood out and everything.
Yep.
So I dig it. There's a bass player for a reason. He's not just I don't know.
Not decorative.
Yeah,
not
he's
a
not
decorative bass player. Immediately, I love the fact that it skipped the intro track instead of like just mood setting with some little whatever piece or audio sample of this right into riffage. And sort of a Judas Priest.
Their version of Electric Eye.
Yep.
Just
kind
fucking
of makes little guitar harmonies
or,
and then boom.
I'm sorry. Their version of the Hellion.
Oh, the Hellion. My bad. Yep. I almost thought about correcting you, but I didn't. But yeah, then right into just chugging full throttle thrash metal, and it just sounded so fucking fresh. And I instantly fell in love with that song. That was the first one I heard that was on Nuclear Blast channel. So I was already familiar with it. It's like, all right, this is a good way to start your album. Then it takes an interesting turn.
Yes, it does.
The next song, Divine Defector, has touches of almost blackened death metal in there.
Starts off with this awesome arpeggiated section going on, and you're like, wait a minute, this is Death Angel?
The heavy strumming, and like it sounds very like maybe like an incantation sort of kind of riff that does that's totally not what Death Angel usually does, but they execute it really well, and they blend it in with their style and just go right back into a thrashy part that's very recognizable, and then bring it back again. It was like, wow, this is kind of an old dog learning new tricks here.
Definitely the vibe. Another great thing that I love about this album is the pace of it. There's many varied parts. The songwriting was very creative. Things that repeat should repeat. They don't just repeat for the sake of repeating, if that makes sense. But also nothing really ran on too long. Sometimes, like Nick said, it even goes back to the point of the intro track, Like, it didn't have some weird mood-setting kind of sound effect shit. It's just right on in it. And that's pretty much the whole vibe of that album. Is just like, there's no frills. It's all good. It's all killer, no filler.
You set the mood with the riff.
Yeah. And there's so many good riffs in there.
Tons.
And different time changes. And
like, different styles, too. There's a lot of worship and tribute. Like, you can hear a lot of the bands they probably grew up on. Like, I recognize parts that sounded like Scorpions or Dio, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden.
There's even part of a riff that sounds like City of God by Sodom.
A little bit, yeah.
Definitely.
And these are bands they definitely probably would have jammed that got them into this whole thrash metal thing. And I love how they're subtle nods, and it's still 100% them doing it, but you really kind of appreciate that. And at the same time, it doesn't feel dated.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels fresh somehow. This kind of old school meets modern.
And that's awesome because, for those people who love the old shit, and have problems leaving the past.
I mean, there's tons of cool innovation out there in metal, but it's always refreshing. You get that kind of nostalgic little feel.
You get the nostalgic kick with the modern feel,
But, like I said, it doesn't feel dated. Like, I mean, their last album, The Great Divide, I absolutely love by Death Angel. But it was a very straight-ahead Death Angel. It was a thrashy barn burner from start to finish. This one, they showed, like, a touch more experimentation, and I really appreciated that. Like, they could have easily repeated the last album, and probably been successful. But I like the fact that they took a chance, and several chances across the board. There are
the bonus track.
the bonus track. Yeah, the bonus track. God, what was the name of that one?
The day I walked away. Yeah.
That one, instantly, I thought of Queensryche.
Yeah.
Right away. Like, it has...
And the spoken word, Jeff Tatey kind of stuff, you know?
His spoken word was okay on this. Jeff Tate obviously has that voice where he could read a menu and it'd be interesting.
Welcome to Denny's. Would you like the Colorado omelet?
My God, Jeff, tell me the prices. Are they on special?
Don't spare me any detail!
But... like the weird sort of like kind of off-timey riff that carries it instantly reminded me of Queensryche. And once again, this was something that initially you didn't think was in Death Angel's wheelhouse, but they showed up, they did it, and they executed it well. Like, it wasn't just like this little forced moment. Like, yeah, look what we can do.
We know how to do this too, man.
No, it came off very strong.
Yeah, very, very strong. Every chance they took panned out.
Yeah.
They took a lot of chances on this album, and every one paid off, in my opinion.
I mean, the only knock I really have, all right, the song "The Pack," which is a great like kind of anthem stomp riff. Just it has like the hard tom hits, like very much like
what he's trying to say
like
is
the lightning.
We're not a fan of the woes.
The woes.
We're anti-woes.
The woes felt so forced, and it just kind of...
Whoa.
Like woe on the woe. It reminded me too much of, like...
Joey Lawrence?
No, I was going to say, like, Warped Tour.
Oh.
And that's not something I want to ever associate with Death Angel. It just felt forced, like, there could have been that empty moment, or, like, a gruffer gang vocal, which they did gang vocals a lot on here.
The gang
to great
vocals
effect.
sounded good,
Yeah, there was even like some touches of hardcore in some of the verses and everything. I was like, okay, I appreciate that too. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, I really can't think of much bad to say about this. There are a ton of standout tracks.
Yeah, we went through. I think we figured out like combined we came up with 5, and there's 11 songs on the album. So I mean, if almost half of the songs on an album are standout tracks, it's a good fucking album.
They're memorable. Revelation song in particular really stood out. Almost a kind of a Dio-esque feel to it. Huge chorus, gorgeous lead work. Absolutely love that one. I brought up before, Divine Defector I thought was just well out of their wheelhouse.
Jason did the solo on that one.
Jason Sukup did the solo on that one. Alexei Liaho even shows up on this from Children of Bodom. Did the solo.
Ghost of Me.
Ghost of Me.
Of Me. Yeah,
Ghost of Me.
Yeah. And here's one thing I'll say about the lead work. Sometimes you listen to an album and the first guitar solo you hear, even though it might be amazing, you've heard everything that guitar player is going to offer you. The one thing I liked about this album from a guitarist perspective is how many different styles of not only rhythm guitar they had going on, like it wasn't just the same style of rhythm guitar throughout the whole album, but also the leads were very varied. Like Humanicide started out with a couple very Slayerish solos, you know, the Kerry King dive bomb fucking solos, and then it comes to a little bit more, maybe like a little bit more technically sound Jeff Hanneman type lead on the second track, and then in other tracks it'll be just totally modern metal, you know, melodic death metal type leads, and it's fucking awesome. So it keeps it interesting. It's not just hearing the same thing done a different way every time.
Yeah, I mean, well crafted across the board. The guitar work across the board is absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't think of anything else to say about this other than I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.5 stars. I think this is a fucking ripper, and I recommend you listen to this one. If you're a thrash fan, 100% listen to it.
Any thrash fan needs to hear this album. I also give it 4.5 stars. It's a no-brainer. This album is incredible, and I have a feeling when it's all said and done at the end of the year album reviews that this one will end up being on my favorite end of the year albums.
There's a big, distinct possibility there for me, too. Once again, Death Angel does not disappoint. They are one of the most consistent acts out there, in my opinion, and I'm so happy to get to jam this one and review it.
Yeah, this was a very fun review.
So, if you like the review, give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, sub. We do album reviews and a whole bunch of other crazy shit on here, and we're working on a whole bunch of other videos for the future, so definitely keep checking us out. Catch you later.
Peace out, motherfuckers!